One player who we think is underrated at every nation for the World Cup. Should we get into it?
Let's do it. This is going to be a brilliant video, and because of that, 25,000 likes.
Dad, we've never asked for 25,000 likes, and we're not going to get it. So stop saying things like that.
Come on, TDL. Press that like button.
What's the first country, Dad?
Oh, Ecuador, Theo. Can I go first, please? Jose Cifuentes, Theo. 23-year-old central midfielder. Plays for LAFC in the MLS. Absolutely smashing it. Market value going up and up. A real playmaker.
Now, don't click on this video thinking you're going to know every player, but during the World Cup, I'm going to be judging the players you've said compared to me. I've gone for Piero Hincapié. Left back, 20 years old, plays for Bayer Leverkusen. The beautiful thing about him is his versatility. He can play centre back, left back. He's aggressive because Ecuador are underdogs going into most matches. He will surprise people.
The Netherlands now, and I've gone for Steven Bergwijn, Theo, the left winger. Now, don't laugh, Spurs fans. He didn't quite smash it for those 2 seasons at Spurs, but at Ajax, Theo, 8 goals in 14 games. He'll get a goal every 3rd or 4th game for his country. A dangerous, fast, tricky player. I like him. I've always liked him.
But he's rated. Ajax fans rave about him. I've gone Justin Bieler, the 24-year-old
Justin
goalkeeper.
Bieber. Justin Bieber. I thought he was a singer.
I can never get through a video with you, Thog Dad.
I'm sorry,
you come up
mate.
with so many crap. Justin Bieler, the number 1 for the Netherlands. You don't know who he is, and he is underrated for that exact reason. He can cement that number 1 spot and have a great World Cup. He puts himself in the bigger picture, in the eyes of all the bigger clubs. He currently plays for Feyenoord, but watch out.
Qatar now, and it has to be Almoez Ali, doesn't it, Theo?
It does.
You're bound
We
to
agree. We do agree.
26-year-old centre forward. He's got 39 goals for his country. That's a goal every other game. Plays for Al Duhail in Qatar. He was born in Khartoum in Sudan, Theo, and he's played in Austria and Spain.
I also know he got 4 contributions in 5 games in the Asian Champions League.
Senegal now. We've gone 5 minutes without talking about Sheffield United, haven't we, Theo? You say it.
Iliman Ndiaye, the
Yes.
Senegalese 22-year-old. He's like a second striker. He plays up top there with Ollie McBurney or Billy Sharp. And one game I watched live, that 5-2 battering that Sheffield United won against Burnley at home. Scoring goals, and I think he'll smash it if he gets game time in the Senegal team.
9 goals this season for Sheffield United. And he's consistent as well, isn't he, Theo?
He is, yeah. He's got contributions. And I think he links well with a big man, as we saw with Ollie McBurney. So if Famara Jeju fancies coming on the pitch, them two could create something.
England now, and I'm going for a player who's underrated by the manager, Theo. Maybe I'm cheating here, James Maddison. He's only got
Dad.
1 cap. He's underrated by the manager.
No fan or media outlet is underrating him.
But my
They're constantly
point
talking
is,
about why he
the
should be called up, Thog Dad.
only reason he's in the squad is fan pressure.
And media pressure, and they're all saying that he should be rated higher.
But the world doesn't know him. Well, maybe
One
they
man
do.
who got in the England squad who deserves more respect for the season he's having is Ben White. Previously Brighton, currently top of the league Arsenal. He's playing out of position for what he's known for being. As a right back, he drives up that right flank, he gets assists. I want to see that for England. His versatility. As a backup, he's got so much confidence right now. Southgate, use it. He is so underrated.
Iran now, and I've gone for Sardar Azmoun, Theo. Now, you know him because he was an absolute hero at Zenit St. Petersburg, but I guess most of you don't know who he is.
Yeah.
Now, he plays for Bayer Leverkusen. I'll admit, he's not doing very well for them. 41 goals for his country, though, Theo. Watch out for him.
Saman Ghoddos, the Brentford. I just think, look, he's not probably going to start for Iran, but he plays in the Premier League, and he is a dead ball specialist. And in World Cups, sometimes the best way of scoring is from corners.
Yes.
Free kicks.
And now for the United States of America, and I've gone for a guy who we met the other day, didn't we, at the NFL? It is Matty Turner, the goalkeeper at Arsenal. Now, the thing about him, Theo, of course, he's not the regular keeper for Arsenal, but he plays in the Carabao Cup, in the Europa League. He's conceded 1 goal in 6 hours of European football.
Will he start for America?
I think he's good. I rate him.
I've gone for Gio Reyna. Now, I know what you're thinking. He's rated. You're a mug. Listen, he's been injured and he's not been spoken of as much this season. He's from Dortmund. He's 20 years old. He can play with either foot. He's quick. He's a dribbler. And he's born in Durham, which is where Thog Dad went to university.
He can go for a pint at the Dun Cow. Wales now, and I've gone for a guy who is tall. He is hard. He is old school. It's Kiefer Moore. And I tell you what, if you're a defender, you don't want to play against him. He's got 4 goals for Bournemouth this season. He'll get a goal for Wales every 3rd game. I think he's going to score 2 goals.
I've gone for Harry Wilson because a Cardiff City fan on Twitter told me to do so, and whatever people say on Twitter, I do. I think he's a good player too. He plays a big role in the Wales system, left-footed, plays on the right wing, but they like to do a 5-3-2, and he's part of a 3 midfield that's a little bit more progressive going forward, has more space. I just think when Gareth Bale's on the ball, the opposition are going to put 2 defenders on him. Harry Wilson is going to get a lot of space, so I think he'll be underrated in the tournament.
Group C now, and it's Argentina. I'm surprised you're not wearing the shirt. Wait a minute, you're wearing a Brazil shirt today?
I've got all the colours.
And I'm just wearing this shirt, Theo.
Oh my God, what's that?
It tastes like promotion. You know what? I've released it.
No, you haven't.
It's available. If you look in the link, you can buy this shirt.
Right, we're only releasing 100. It's super limited. So once they're gone on the website, they're gone forever. If you're lucky, Thogdad's going to sign a few and send them out to fans. Dad, who's your pick for Argentina?
It's got to be Alexis McAllister.
He's serious?
Theo. He's 23 years old. He's a central midfielder, smashing it for Brighton this year. 5 goals. He plays every game. He's Mr. Consistency. Criminally underrated.
People call him the Scottish Messi, and now he's going to be playing with Messi at the World Cup. How much game time do you reckon he'll get?
I hope he starts every game. He's that sort of player.
I picked a man who I hope plays in the midfield as well. Enzo Fernandez. He's a Benfica 21-year-old. He's like a deep-lying playmaker. He's got an amazing, accurate, long ball, and he's so creative. And with such a dangerous attack with the likes of Dybala, Lautaro Martinez, Messi, you need midfielders with that ability to create.
Mexico now, Theo, and I've gone for Alexis Vega. Now, remember this name because soon he might be playing in Europe. He plays for Chivas, Theo, back in Mexico. He's a left winger. He's got 5 goals already for his country. His value is going up and up. He's a bit of a playmaker, dangerous player.
I don't agree, but I've also gone for a winger who's also 24 years old and plays in the Mexican League. And his name is Roberto Alvarado. Whilst yours is left wing, mine's right. It's on the other side. I'm telling you, he's quick, he's short, he's dangerous. Mexico always play well in World Cups when they play as a team. With these 2 players, Vega and Alvarado, watch out for him.
Poland now, and it's got to be Arkadiusz Milik, Theo, the centre forward. He scores goals wherever he goes. Napoli, Ajax, Marseille. At the moment, he's at Juventus on loan. He's bagged 5 times. Watch out for him.
He even scores goals in an arcade.
Cut that joke out, Josh.
Hit the like button if you didn't laugh. Yeah, you see, now we're going to get 25k likes. Stats this year have been outstanding, and I think you put him behind RL9. You know what I'm talking about. You have a man who can create and also take defenders away, opening opportunities for great shots. He scores lots of goals from outside the box. I think Poland looks strong with these upcoming players, and also he's got a high press on him.
Saudi Arabia, it's got to be Sami Al-Najai, Theo. Now he plays in the Saudi Pro League for Al Nassr. He's already got 2 goals for his country, and he's having a cracking season in the Pro League. He's solid, he's consistent.
I've gone for Faras Al-Barakain. He's only 22 years old, and he's their number 9 for the country. He's the one who's going to score the goals if they get the opportunity.
Australia now, it's got to be the right winger, Martin Boyle, a player that we've seen many times at Hibs, Theo. Great output for that Scottish team. Loads of goals, loads of assists. And did you know he once played in the Saudi League?
As you saw in my predictions, I put Australia second. I think they'll make it through to the knockouts.
Ridiculous.
Completely against the odds. I just have the belief in the squad. A lad who's recently signed to Hellas Verona, an attacking midfielder. He's another Serbian name Australian.
Yes.
Called Aydin Hustic. He's just come from Frankfurt, and he actually gave me the tickets to go to Frankfurt Real Madrid in the Super Cup final.
Wow.
Top lad.
Cheers,
we follow
mate.
each other on Instagram, but he's actually a baller. And you're all going to find out the way he drives with the ball, works hard. If they are going to get second in the group, he will play a key role.
Denmark, it's got to be Jesper Lindstrom, Theo. Now, he's a 22-year-old attacking midfielder, and he's really making a name for himself at Eintracht Frankfurt. 6 goals, 2 assists this season.
Every time I'm checking results of Frankfurt, he seems to always pop up with contributions, goals. Denmark, in terms of every nation at the World Cup, is probably the easiest one to pick. Underrated talents. My pick, which is Andreas Skov Olsen, the 22-year-old winger for Club Brugge. He's left-footed, predominantly on the right side.
Bruges, where's that?
Oh, good question.
Oh, no, I know. It's in Belgium. I didn't used to know. I know now. But sorry, carry on.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. No defender wants to face him. And you will know, after this World Cup tournament, who he is.
France, and this is very, very easy. It's a 36-year-old man with 49 goals for his country, Olivier Giroud, Theo.
Yeah.
I don't care what his age is. He's smashing it at AC Milan. He's smashing it at Arsenal, at Chelsea. What a player.
But he's rated. People know he's a good player.
Yeah, but he's underrated because everyone talks about other French players.
Like Benzema and Mbappe.
Benzema, yes.
Jordan Veretout. He's a creative midfielder who's 29 years old. He's your consistent 8 out of 10 guy. He's created 6 big chances in 10 starts this season for Marseille. With the amount of power they have in that forward line for France and the squad that they've announced, having a creative midfielder like Veretout would actually work to the tactics. The problem is he won't get any game time because the Real Madrid lads will definitely start.
Tunisia now, and it's Montassar Talbi. Theo, remember the name. He's a 24-year-old centre-back. He moved from Rubin Kazan in Russia to FC Lorient, and he's really good, Theo, at those duels, those aerial duels, those ground duels.
The one I've gone for is Issa Ladouni. He's 25 years old, he's a centre mid, and he plays with Ferencvaros. But the reason I picked up on him, he came from the French league, he's hard-working, and if Tunisia want to grind out results, they need the hard-working lads like Talbi, like Ladouni. So as much as we've gone different, we kind of agree off the same aspect that they're the guys that are going to carry the water through the team.
Group E now, Theo. We've not talked about Sunderland yet, have we, in the northeast of England?
Shocking.
Let's do
Why
that
have we
now.
not done that yet?
Jewis and Bennett, do you agree?
This lad, if he gets game time under Costa Rica, will shine. He's rapid, he's got determination, his off-the-ball work is key. He runs at defenders, he's a high presser. From the impact he's had off the bench for Sunderland, he can do the same at the World Cup.
Germany now, and everybody is rated, so I didn't know who to go for. So I've gone for an older player. I've cheated a bit. Ilkay Gundogan, Theo. I know he's a brilliant player. I would still play him. He's still got it. He's still got that creativity.
Thogden, common L. You can't pick Ilkay. You can't
Well,
pick a Man City regular in an underrated squad.
Well, I have. I just want to talk about him. I just want to say
you
how
love him
good
so
he
much,
still is at the age of 32.
I've gone for Niklas Füllkrug. He's a 29-year-old striker. You probably didn't even know he was called up for the German national team,
I
did
had
you?
no idea.
He plays for Werder Bremen, and his statistics this year are quite amazing. In the Bundesliga, he's got 10 goals in 14 games.
Wow.
Watch out for him off the bench for Germany. He could be an added threat.
Japan now. All I can say, Theo, is if we don't agree on this, a Brighton player who has been sensational in recent weeks, then I'm walking out. If it's not Mitoma, I'm walking out.
Yeah, sorry, Dad. It's got to be Tomiyasu.
Mitoma.
You're right. It's
Brighton.
Mitoma. He's only rated by Brighton fans, and he's about to be rated by the whole world. The 25-year-old, 5 goals in 9 games. He's only got 1 goal, 1 assist for Brighton. But off the bench, that man can be any fullback on that left flank, or even the right side. He's versatile. Play him either side.
He cost €3 million from Kawasaki in the Japanese league.
Yes.
What a bargain by
I know.
Brighton.
What a deal.
Spain now. And this guy's not really underrated, but bear with me,
Plays for
Theo.
Barcelona,
He's a
you mug.
left winger, Theo, 22 years old. He's sort of forgotten in some ways. Ferran Torres.
Oh.
Not having a great season, Theo. Let go by Man City. Why did you do that? I think he's a wonderful player.
I'll let you have it because his record for Barca isn't great this year and he's been sitting on the bench. But his record for Spain is really good. Goal per game.
Yes.
And he's a great shout in Euro Fantasy last year. In the World Cup Fantasy, people should be talking about him more because they have a striker problem. The only underrated talent I see in that Spain team is Alvaro Morata. Laugh at me. Seriously, laugh at me. Roast me. But the guy scores so many goals, even from the national team. The guy will score you goals, and when Spain don't have a striker as good as him, he will get game time, and I bet you he will score multiple times if he gets the opportunity in Qatar.
Belgium now. I'm going for a man who's linked with Newcastle and Chelsea and Atletico Madrid, all those big world teams.
Oh, yeah.
It is, of course, 27-year-old left winger Leandro Trossard, who has been superb this season for Brighton and Hove Albion.
7 goals this season, scored more than... I say this every time we talk about him. Gabby Jesus, he scored more than him. You've got to give this guy 90 minutes every game because he's arguably right now your best on-form current player after De Bruyne. This is the perfect mindset for a man who's going to a World Cup, where every game is like a final.
Canada, it's got to be Steven Eustáquio, and I've probably pronounced that wrong, but he plays for Porto, doesn't he? You've been out there a few times.
I have been to Porto. Look, he's a water carrier. He's a midfielder that will get up the pitch. He can play defensive midfield, centre mid, box to box. Funny thing is, right now, every game Porto play, he seems to pick up a contribution. So his positioning and understanding of the game is key. And in Canada's team, where they need to grind out results, he's got to be the captain, the leader, the 90-minute player.
Croatia, it's Mislav Orsic, Theo, a 29-year-old left winger. This is a really interesting guy because he's having a great season for Dinamo Zagreb, isn't he? Both domestically and in the UCL. He's played in China, he's played in South Korea. It's never really worked overall,
But you know what I'm going to say? He's rated. Croatia, for me, I've gone for Marko Livaja. Now, the 29-year-old is a striker who's been brought along to stop that striker problem Croatia have. No one is scoring the goals. He's gone to Croatian League, scored 11 goals in 16 appearances.
Yes.
He's helped them in the Europa Conference League to qualify. So I think he could be the answer to their problems. If it clicks, Croatia could top the group.
Morocco, it's got to be Nayef Agued, Theo, 26-year-old centre-back, plays for West Ham. Now, he's been injured, but when I've seen him on the telly box after coming back from injury, he's looked really solid.
I've gone for a championship player. QPR, attacking midfielder, loves a long shot, quite short, but he's got a bit about him. It's Ilias Chair.
Okay.
I think he's got an opportunity for Morocco to shine and create big chances. He's done that 9 times in 21 games. He's got creativity. Watch out for him.
Brazil, and let's go for a centre-back again, Theo. It is Bremer, who we have seen, haven't we, for Torino and
We
Juventus.
did, but Dad, he moved from Torino to Juventus.
I know,
he's rated.
And you shouldn't do... No, most people have not heard of him.
He's a 25-year-old centre-back that was linked with Tottenham, with all the top clubs. You cannot say he's underrated.
Because with Brazil, Theo, you talk about other players. Go to any football fan, say, name 6 players. No one names Bremer.
Part of what you mentioned is the reason I've picked no one for my Brazil underrated pick. No one. Brazil, if you make it to the final 26-man squad from a nation that's more football mad than anywhere in the world, you're born and you're kicking football before you can say daddy. No one is underrated in that 26-man squad.
Cameroon, it's got to be Eric, Maxime, Choupo-Moting,
wow.
Theo. Now, I know he's a bit of a meme to Stoke fans.
He is a bit of a meme.
But Theo,
to everybody.
He scores so many goals for his club, for his country. He plays for Bayern Munich and he scores goals.
And he scored goal against Barcelona at their own stadium. Sadio Mane set him up. He has an ability to gel well with his teammate. Cameroon, for me, I've gone for Frank Anguissa. I didn't put him down as their best player, and I regret it. He's been in and out of this Napoli Serie A team, which has been shining and way over exceeding the odds and expectations of them this season. And he is someone who's tall, he's really good at dribbling, he can drive with the ball, he can get stuck in. And in a World Cup, those are the sort of players that do well.
Serbia, it's got to be Strahinja Pavlovic. He's a 21-year-old centre-back. Look at the picture of him. You wouldn't mess with this lad. He's tall, he's menacing, he's old school, Theo. And I tell you what, since his move from Monaco to RB Salzburg, his value has tripled. Don't mess with this guy. One
of their wing-backs, the left wing-back I would implement into the system, he plays left mid for his club, is Darko Lazovic. Now, hear me out here. He's two-footed, so he can take it on either side. If he wants to go down the flank or cut in, he's got that ability. He will be someone who's creating for the finishers, but he won't get the credit he deserves. So I'm mentioning him now. Look out for him, Lazovic.
Switzerland, I've gone for Gregor Kobel, Theo, their goalkeeper. And I want to know, Theo, Borussia Dortmund, you must have seen this lad in the flesh. Pretty good. Saves penalties.
Yeah, he's 24 years old. He's only going to get better. When you can tell how important a goalkeeper is when he's not there.
Yes.
And recently I went this season and Kobel was injured, so they brought in their second keeper, and it just didn't link the same. For Switzerland, for me, I've gone for Breel Embolo. Somehow, he's only 25 years old. I swear this guy has been in every World Cup and Euro since I was born. Because he was a wonder kid when he was like 17, 18. But he's just so lethal for country.
Yes.
How often do we see him in big tournaments? He's just there. He's a target man. He's got pace. He was at Gladbach. Now he's gone to Monaco. And actually, he's got 7 goals in 13 starts in Ligue 1.
Group H now starting with Ghana, and it's got to be Inaki Williams, the centre forward. Now, you might say he's not underrated,
He's
Theo.
rated, you mug.
Atletico Bilbao, most people don't know him.
What do you mean? Everyone knows Inaki Williams.
Not everyone knows him.
He's been at Bilbao all his career because obviously he was born in that Basque region, can't leave the club. Come on, everybody knows the story.
Okay, who have you gone for then?
I've gone for a proper pick, and you will never have heard of this guy. Daniel Kerrer. Okay, he's a second striker, 26 years old, plays for Freiburg. He's a dribbler. Look at his highlights. The geezer has actually made it. 4 years ago, he was in the 4th division for Germany. Then he got to the 3rd division, played for a new club. Then the 2nd tier, where he got like 15 goals. Only recently, just last year, he's made it to the top division. But I just think that hard graft mentality of making it from the lower leagues, you bring that to a World Cup, you're representing Ghana, you're playing next to the world's best, you've got Thomas Partey behind you. I think he'll have a good tournament.
Portugal, let's talk about João Paulinho from Fulham, because, oh my goodness, how amazing. We agree.
We agree.
How amazing was he against Man United?
Special mention to Diego Dallo. He's turned it around this season. And I think if he gets game time for Portugal, will do well. But João Paulinho, how does he play for Fulham?
Theo, against Man United, he broke the record for this season. 9 tackles in a game, which is, it might sound like nothing. It's not. No one else has done it this season.
He's the perfect ball-winning midfielder.
South Korea now. It's got to be Min Jae Kim, Theo. And I know you've heard of him, but most people have only heard
the Napoli centre-back.
Of one player. Yes.
He's one of the best centre-backs in the world. He's not underrated, you mug.
Do you know about his release clause in 2024?
No.
45 million euros.
That's
from
a
Napoli.
bargain. I've gone for Woo Young Jong. Now, he's someone, apart from Son and Kim Min-jae, everybody know them too. I wanted to go with an underrated video for someone who may just shine. A second striker, again, plays for Freiburg. He's actually in competition with Daniel Kerrer, the pick that I picked for Ghana. He's quick, he gets on the end of things, he latches onto chances in that Freiburg team. He likes to play with another forward. He'll drop into space. And if South Korea are on the counter, he'll be on the edge of things. And the final country is Uruguay.
That is my job, Theo.
Uruguay.
I've got my contract here. It says it's my job.
Okay, sorry.
And the final country is Uruguay, and it's got to be a man who only cost 19 million euros from Juventus, Rodrigo Bentancur. And I'll tell you what, every Spurs fan does not underrate him.
Only 19 million.
He must have doubled or tripled in value. This guy is sensational to watch.
It's a steal. That's robbery. From Juve. I'm sorry, this guy's unbelievable. His close control, we watched it in the Tottenham-Liverpool game. The way he took it round 3 of the Liverpool midfielders with ease.
Yes.
The guy's so two-footed. He's a classy midfielder. And yet he's still, apart from Tottenham fans, underrated. If they want to go for the World Cup, they can win this goddamn thing with Cavani, Darwin Núñez, Valverde. I mean, Godin, the back experience. He has to play a big role in turning defence into attack. I think he can do it. I think he's got the onions for it. We'll see it at World Cup level if he can adapt. First link in description. Don't be a mug. Get yourself the shirt. If we see you wearing this anywhere, you know, if Bolton ever play anyone or England and we see you wearing that shirt, we will give you a follow back on Insta. Go in the comments, name me one player that we should watch out for in this World Cup.
Theo, there's a bloke in Germany who's not subscribed yet. Look,
No, he
look there.
hasn't. How have you not subscribed? We've got so much World Cup content.
He's just subscribed.
He's done it for the World Cup.
Yeah,
All right, see you in a bit. Bye-bye. Come on!